Hello everyone, my name is Aishwarya Jain. So today I'll be discussing about the topics GAAP, IFRS, Indian Accounting Standards. So before starting with this session, I would like to inform you that we do provide online course for all the banking promotional exams. So the one-stop link for all your promotional exams is Telegram/Bank Promotion. So you can join our Telegram group for all the latest updates regarding the banking promotional exams. Plus soon we'll be launching our app as well. And we have a dedicated channel, dedicated portal which is bankpromotions.in. Plus, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is @Bank Promotion. And for the internal promotional exam training, Pramanjan Tripathi sir and Praveen sir would be guiding you. So let's just quickly discuss about the terms. GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. So जब हम GAAP के बारे में बात करते हैं, these are the generally accepted accounting principles. First of all, I would like to inform you that it's a wider term. When we talk about GAAP, it's a wider term and it includes all the standards. इसमें सारे standards आते हैं, whether it is an international standard or whether it is an Indian standard. So it includes all the standards and it's a wider term. And these are the accounting rules which are used to prepare the financial statements for the companies. तो जब हम companies के accounts बनाते हैं, तो जो भी हम rules follow करते हैं, that are included in the GAAP. तो अब GAAP दो तरीके का होता है. First is the national GAAP and the second is the international GAAP. तो जब हम बात करते हैं नेशनल गैप की, दीज आर मेड बाय सम कंट्रीज सेपरेटली. नेशनल गैप मींस सपोज इंडिया है, इंडिया फॉलो करता है अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड. अब तो अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड का नया वर्जन आ गया है विच इज द इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. तो पहले इंडिया फॉलो करता था अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, नाउ इंडिया फॉलोज इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. तो जब एक कंट्री अपने खुद के सेपरेट अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स बनाती है और उसको फॉलो करती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज नेशनल गैप. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द इंटरनेशनल गैप, व्हेन अ ग्रुप ऑफ कंट्रीज टुगेदर अडॉप्ट some standards, it is called an international gap. For example, UK and some other countries are following the international accounting standards. वैसे ही इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स का नया वर्जन आ गया है विच इज IFRS, इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. तो अब जब हम ग्रुप ऑफ कंट्रीज सेम अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को फॉलो करते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं IFRS. तब IFRS क्यों आया और क्यों इसकी नीड थी, we'll talk about it later. तो अभी हमने डिस्कस किया गैप दो तरीके का होता है. नेशनल गैप विच मीन्स जब एक कंट्री अपने खुद के अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड बनाती है और उनको फॉलो करती है. फॉर एग्जांपल इन इंडिया इट वाज अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड एंड नाउ इट इज इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड. और जब हम बात करते हैं इंटरनेशनल गैप की, दैट मीन्स अ ग्रुप ऑफ कंट्रीज फॉलोइंग द सेम स्टैंडर्ड, बिल्कुल डिट्टो कॉपी सेम स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉलो करते हैं, उनको हम बोलते हैं इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, जिसका अब नया वर्जन आ गया विच इज इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स विच इज IFRS. अब हम गैप के बारे में बात करते हैं. जैसे कि अगर हम यूएस में, इंडिया में जैसे फॉलो किया जाता है इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड, लाइकवाइज यूएस में फॉलो किया जाता है यूएस गैप. दे कॉल इट एज यूएस गैप. So generally accepted accounting principles or US GAAP are the accounting rules used to prepare financial statements for the publicly traded companies and many private companies in the United States. These are a collection of commonly followed accounting rules and standards for financial reporting. So the Financial Accounting Standards Board uses GAAP as the foundation for its comprehensive set of approved accounting methods and practices. So these GAPs are issued by the Financial Accounting Standard Board. These are issued by the Financial Accounting Standard Board. So GAAP is merely a set of standards that do not provide any definite assurance that a company's financial statements are free from errors or intended omissions. And the main purpose of GAAP is to bring transparency and consistency in reporting the financial reporting among the various organizations. GAPs are generally the accounting principles which are followed while preparing the statements. अब IFRS के बारे में हम बात करते हैं. अब IFRS फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो था वो था IAS, इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इसलिए फॉलो किया गया, सपोज आई एज एन इन्वेस्टर वांट टू इन्वेस्ट इनटू अ कंट्री विच इज इन US सपोज. सो मेरे लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है इन्वेस्ट करना इफ द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉलोड इन इंडिया एंड द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉलोड इन US आर डिफरेंट. तो मेरे लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है उनकी बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट को कंपेयर करना, अंडरस्टैंड करना. तो मेरे को वो इन्फॉर्मेशन रिलायबल नहीं लगती है. तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी एज अ इन्वेस्टर टू इन्वेस्ट इनटू अ कंपनी जिसके अकाउंट्स मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आ रहे हैं. तो इसलिए IAS वाज फॉर्म्ड, इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. अब इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स में डिस्क्लोजर काफी कम था, तो उसको थोड़ा और वाइड करने के लिए, डिस्क्लोजर रिक्वायरमेंट को और बढ़ाने के लिए, टू मेक इट मोर फ्री फ्रॉम एरर्स, international financial reporting standards were formed. So these were formed as a common global language for accounting and business affairs. So accounting and recording of business affairs, it was formed so that the company accounts are understandable and comparable across international boundaries. IFRS had the original name of International Accounting Standards. As I already told you, IFRS को पहले हम International Accounting Standards बोलते थे. Now the name is International Financial Reporting Standards. So IFRS is an independent, not-for-profit private sector organization working in the public interest. There are rules to be followed by the accountants and are consistent so as to maintain books of account which are comparable, understandable, reliable, and relevant to the internal and external users. So across the borders, are you getting me? Across international boundaries, so that the company's accounts are understandable and comparable across the इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्रीज. कंपनी के अकाउंट्स अगर हम अंडरस्टैंडेबल और कंपेरेबल कर देंगे तो दैट वुड हेल्प ऑल ओवर ट्रेड एंड द फ्लो ऑफ कैपिटल विद इन द डिफरेंट कंट्रीज. So it makes comparable, understandable, reliable, and relevant to the internal or external users. The IASB is an independent standard setting body of the IFRS Foundation. जब हम IFRS Foundation की बात करते हैं तो IASB is the independent standard setting body of IFRS. Are you able to get it? The International Accounting Standard Board, IASB means International Accounting Standard Board. ये standard setting body है IFRS की. The IFRS Foundation is an independent, not-for-profit private organization working in the public interest. As I already told you, the International Accounting Standard Board's objective is that standards be applied on a globally consistent basis to provide investors and other users of financial statements with the ability to compare the financial performance of publicly listed companies on like-for-like basis with the international peers. तो मेन यही है कि कंपेरेबिलिटी हो सके, अंडरस्टैंडेबिलिटी हो, रिलायबिलिटी हो, रेलेवेंट हो डिफरेंट कंट्रीज के बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स को समझने में. सेम स्टैंडर्ड होगा तो इट वुड बी इजी. कैपिटल इनफ्लो होगा because a person will only invest if the same standard is followed in the other country which is followed in his country. So अब IFRS बाकी सब countries में maximum of the countries followed the IFRS. अब when we talk about India अब India ने IFRS को ditto copy ना करके, adopt ना करके, it has converged. IFRS are of two types. First is adopt and second is converge. Adopt means आपने ditto copy कर लिया IFRS के standards को, you are following the same standards. And IFRS converge means आपने IFRS को IFRS के हिसाब से अपने खुद के standards prepare कर रहे हैं. That means preparing your own standard in line with the IFRS. So India ने IFRS converge adopt किया है, wherein India has made Indian accounting standards as per keeping in view the business environment and legal aspects of India. India के business environment को ध्यान में रखते हुए इंडिया ने IFRS के लाइन में इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर्म करे हैं जिससे कि इन्वेस्टमेंट आए और हमारा फंड फ्लो एनहांस हुए और डिस्पैरिटी मिनिमम हो जाए. That's why Indian accounting standards were formed. So more than 100 of countries have adopted the IFRS और इंडिया में क्या चलता है IND AS, which is a converged of Indian accounting standards with the IFRS. So the difference between GAAP and IFRS, so I've already told you GAAP जो है एक wider term है, IFRS is a smaller term. GAAP is called Generally Accepted Accounting Principles and IFRS International Financial Reporting Standard. GAAP, it is developed by FASB. I've told you GAAP is developed by FASB, that is Financial Accounting Standard Board. And while the IFRS is developed by IASB, it is developed by the IASB, that is International Accounting Standard Board. GAAP is used only in US GAAP, and IFRS is used globally. IFRS is more of a principle-based, while GAAP is more of a rule-based system of accounting. जो GAAP है, it has separate objectives for business and non-business entities, or IFRS, it has one objective for all types of entities. GAAP uses both LIFO and FIFO for inventory valuation, while IFRS follows only first in first out method for inventory valuation. In GAAP, fixed assets are valued using the cost model. Under the GAAP, the fixed assets are valued using the cost model. That means the historic value of the assets are put under the GAAP method unless any depreciation. So depreciation is anyhow counted for, but the assets such as property, plant, and equipment are valued using the cost model. That is the historic value of the asset. And when we talk about the IFRS allows us the another method, which is a revaluation method. That is the fair value method. I've already discussed that with you in the previous lecture. Fair value method, that means the current value. What is the current market value of the asset, which is based on the fair value on the date of evaluation, less the depreciation and impairment losses. इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स की जब हम बात करते हैं, एज आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, दीज आर प्रिपेयर्ड इन लाइन विद द आईएफआरएस. हमने आईएफआरएस की लाइन में इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स बनाए हैं, कीपिंग इन व्यू द इंडियन इकोनॉमिक एंड लीगल एनवायरनमेंट. इंडिया के बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट और लीगल एनवायरनमेंट को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये बनाया गया है. द इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स एज नोटिफाइड इन द सेक्शन 133 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 have been formulated keeping in the Indian economic and legal environment in view, and with a view to converge with the IFRS standard. It has not adopted the IFRS standard. It has been built with to converge with the IFRS standards. इसलिए करा गया है so that हमारे लिए comparable और understandable हो books of accounts of the different countries as issued by and copyright of which is held by the IFRS Foundation. IFRS standards का जो standards हैं, they have the copyright of it. The Institute of Chartered Accountant of India recommends accounting standards to National Financial Reporting Authority, and the standards are notified by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, after considering the recommendation of the FRA. So, on 16th of February 2015, MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, notified companies Indian International Accounting Rules 2015. It notifies 39 Indian accounting standards. So there are 39 Indian accounting standards. So they are applicable to a certain class of companies. Basically, all the listed companies and the unlisted companies which have a net worth of 250 crore and above have to mandatorily follow the Indian accounting standards. So the Ministry of Corporate Affairs notifies it. Okay. Indian standard setting body of the International Financial Reporting Standards Foundation is, I already told you, it's IASB. That is International Accounting Standards Board is the standard setting body of IFRS. The sources of the Indian GAAP includes Indian Companies Act, notification issued by the Ministry of Finance, Accounting Standards, ICAI pronouncement. Obviously, the sources of the Indian GAAP are Indian Companies Act, ICAI pronouncement, accounting standards. So the correct answer is A, C, D, that is D. GAAP stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. Correct answer is C. Thank you so much for watching this session. I hope you like it.